and this is related to the
okay, thank you so much.
Yes, to the situation.
Great, Ali, thank you
Context.
so much. So back to him. Anything to add? I'm sorry for interruption. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. So the subject of variety is very linked, or it's very close relationships with the studying of language and society, and we can say that it's been determined by many factors, as you mentioned here in social factors, which are things that the factors that affect human lives and affect human ideologies, affect human behaviors, how to pick his vocabulary according to the circumstances that he involved in, when he to say a standardized language or formalized language, when he to say unformalized language, and the structure of the vocabulary or the language that that is used also influenced by these social factors.
Okay, thank you so much. So who take the mic?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, Doctor.
So tell me a little bit about social factors. When we use language, the language is determined by some social factors, and here we have on screen some of them, that participants, the nature of the participants regarding age, ranks, relationships, setting, topic, function. What else?
Yes.
We can say that there are many factors, like the income of the people in society also affects their social status in society. I think.
Okay.
Also, their
also related.
Yes, Ali, please. Okay. Okay, Arij. Okay, we'll get back to you. Let's listen to Ali.
Yes, also related to the age, to the background of receiver, or the member of some social, also the attitudinal factors, the effect of habit.
Okay. What do you mean by attitudinal factors?
Such as the community, such as the habit, such as the ideas, norms, and ideologies, and so on, and strategy of speaking.
Okay. Well, thank you. Now, Arij, any ideas, please?
Yes, we can say also the religious background. I think it affects our social factors.
Great. So we have religious background. Is it the same as
ethnic
origin,
background,
ethnic background,
racial, or how old are the people, the age factor, place of residence, also education, all those factors.
Educational.
The
you mean
social factor.
You mean educational level? Hiam, if it's some, I hear you saying education.
Yes, educational backgrounds for a person or individual also determined
how would this
by social factors.
Okay. How would this determine the language used by the individual?
Yes, a person with PhD, for example, his terminology or his vocabulary is different with a person who is with not an educational background. His term is different, even his attitude and behavior.
Is a PhD holder is more educated than an MA, for example, candidate?
I'm not saying that he is not more educated. I'm saying that the choosing of the vocabulary.
I'm talking about the choice of words. In terms of the choice of words.
Yes, because we are studying of language, and language is a group of words. So that's how we can determine it is. So language is a means of connections, a means of contact. When I want to know what is you think about, what is your ideologies, is it through your vocabulary, through the social circumstance that I am with you inside the classroom, the PhD person is, of course, he will choose or illustrate different vocabulary.
What about, what about
one.
your parents, for instance, your mother and your father? Do you think that they are speaking differently when, for instance, talking
Yes, of course.
over some important or significant issue?
Yes, of course. Every individual on the universe have unique way or unique style, and registers of vocabulary is different from any other person on the whole world.
All right. Okay. And why
There's
is that?
not two identical.
Yeah.
There's
and why
no
is that?
two identical.
Is it a divine wisdom, for instance, just to make it so special for an individual? Or
It is
there's
like the
some
matter
wisdom?
of the, yes, it is like the matter of the fingerprint, eye print, the mind, the thoughts, the same thing. There is no two person that have the same thoughts or the same ideologies or the same fingerprint or the same eye print. It's something something divine.
In addition, my colleague said it depends on the style of the individual style. So the style, like the fingerprint, as my colleague said, the style is different from one person to another, and within one person, it's different from one place to another. The individual style at home is different from his style at,
of course.
it's different from his style with his friends. And as you said, you ask my colleague one questions, what about the parents? We speak with our parents with some language, some style is different with respect, like what we speak with our teachers. And when they speak together, my father and mother, when they speak together, they use even they use gesture, even they use particular language between them. Sometimes when they speak, we cannot understand them because it is depending on their style and
absolutely. That's how identity. That's how is identity shaped. You know, one individual might have many identities in many different contexts. This depends on many factors, as you have just mentioned. Well, thank you indeed for all of this. Let's now shift to talk about one of the significant issues that's linking sociolinguistics with the sociology of language. So, what's the connection? What's the counterpart? What's the anything you would like just to comment on this? You're welcome. So, what do you know about?
Yes. Social linguistics, as mentioned by Ronald Warthoff in his book, in his introduction, said that social linguistics is different from sociology of language. Sociology of language focused on the effect of language on society, while social linguistics is, we can say, the descriptive study of the effect of any aspect of society. For example, cultural norms, expectations, ideologies, language use, and the society effects on language.
Okay,
this is in a very simple way the difference between these two terms.
Yeah, okay, good. Who else? Who can add? Okay, who take the mic?
The internet is...
Okay, so I will share this with you. In fact, this is one of the most significant things to remember, that sociolinguistics investigates the relationship between any language and society with the goal of a better understanding of getting a better view of the structure of language and of how language function communication. Okay, this is the major aim of sociolinguistics. What sociology of language is to find out how social structure can be better understood through the study of language, how certain linguistic features serve to characterize particular social arrangement. Okay, could you please just examine these lines and tell me what is meant by finding out how social structure can be better understood through the study of language? And how is this connected to sociolinguistics?
Social structure can be better understood through system. Yes, I think he is linking this to the social context, because if you don't know the language or the terminologies of certain society and certain community, you cannot identify or you cannot interpret what this sentence or what this vocabulary meant by this certain person from this certain community. For example, you are not from Iraq, you cannot know certain items that's pronounced by certain groups of Iraq, that is like the common non-food masmuta or whatever. When we say, when we say to the foreign person, he cannot interpret it correctly unless he know the social norms or the social tradition of Iraqis people.
Okay.
This is depending on culture.
Yes, we can say,
of course, culture.
It plays an important part here.
Okay.
Culture is part of social context.
Let me read something about this. Sociolinguistics versus the sociology of language. Hudson in 1980 states that sociolinguistics is the study of language in relation to society. Most sociolinguists share this view, in fact, in one, more or less in one way or another. And the sociology of language is the study of society in relation to language. So I think there is some kind of difference between these two things, though related, you know. Similar.
Yeah, the first one is opposite to the second one.
Exactly, though related, I said. So there's some similar ground that shares these two, that connects these two together, but both require systematic study of language. So it's the scientific study of language. All right, good.
Yeah.
And so the main focus of sociolinguistics would be on society on language. Society on language, the effect of society on language. And the other one, however, language effects on society. So you know
society.
this, right? So
the
this
vice
is quite
versa.
clear. Exactly, this is quite clear. As you can see here, there is quite, let's say, a strong connection between language and society, as explained down here. And of course, please don't worry, I will upload this lecture through YouTube. You can see my YouTube through my YouTube channel. And also I would upload these PDF and PPT documents through Google Classroom. Yeah, you'll make use of these materials for further studies and also for further examination. As you can see here, the relationship between language and society is represented by the social structure, by age, grading, phenomenon, and the varieties of language, and also the studies that focus on ways of speaking, choice of words, and so on and so forth, and how social context determine all of these things, you know. And still we have many other issues to talk about by one of the, as you can see here on the board, the social factors, who is talking to whom, wife, husband, customer, shopkeeper, post worker. That's what I talked about in just a couple of minutes ago. The social setting is also significant to determine the function of interaction here, the aim, the person of the interaction, the purpose of the interaction. Is it, what is the topic? I mean, it's so significant to know more about this. And also you can find this session examples between, let's say, a kind of dialogue or exchange between two persons, probably Ray and mom, you know, here we have a good conversation and we have analysis, a piece of analysis down here. I will leave this to the next session because, you know, it's almost 1 hour. It's okay, we'll done with 1 hour. That's more than enough. Let's now reflect on today's presentation. What do you expect? Could you please give me some briefing on this presentation?
Okay, yes, we can say that sociolinguistics is a branch of the wide umbrella linguistics. It is a very important, let us say, branch of science. It's study the effects of language in society, how social norms, how social traditions, how social circumstances, ideologies, attitudes, etc., variety effect on individual language, how can they, and affect also their behavior and the vocabulary and terminology that they choose in certain social context. Also, we deal with the social factors that affect our language, such as participant settings. You said function, we can say purpose, why we use these certain kinds, let us say, or certain types of vocabulary in certain situation, and not use these certain words in other context, or in other in other conditions. It is very important science, and it is I think it's interesting to be involved in.
Okay, thank you so much indeed. Please, Arich, just take the mic.
Yes, we can say also it's a very complicated field, since it deals with the human mind, what the humans think, what they want to improve in their society. Also the language varieties, how language variety can determine from where those people are, what are their educational background, their ethnicity, their religious background, anything that related to their society. It can give us an account of all those varieties that determines the also the age grading that dwells in society. Also the sociology of language, we come across sociology of language, the thing that determines, or the main focus of the sociology of language is society, how society influence language and shape language.
And not the vice versa, actually.
Yes, and what sociolinguistics is about, it's about language, how language can influence or shape our society, and can give us an account of who are those people, and where are they come from, what are their educational background, how, sometimes how they think, and what reaction we expect from them. Even we can have an idea of what of all of this things that can be related to language. So it's a very complicated field.
That's right.
So it cannot be covered briefly in one session. So
of course, today is just
warm up.
Exactly.
Warm up.
It's a roadmap, you know. خارطة الطريق أو خطة الطريق. Who take the mic? So Hassan or Ali, please just.
Yes, it's a complex. Yes, it's a complex because sociolinguistics is concerned with the human, concerned with the mind, concerned with the cognitive, concerned with the ideology, with habit, with the social, with context, with the age, with the style, with all this. Yes, with all this. Sociolinguistics, when we study sociolinguistics, we study as the particular speech community, such as some community and the differences between these communities. When we study sociology, we study communication system, communicative system as a whole, because sociology is concerned with the communicative system as a whole. But when we study, but when we study social linguistics, it's concerned with some communities, such as if we study the Iraq communities, and the language is the language of Iraq communities is different from north, from middle, from and south, because according to our habit, our ideologies, when we use some vocabulary is different from other cities, such as in Imara, use some vocabulary is different from Basra. Also different. Also, the same city has the variety of dialect and vocabulary between the city center and
Ali, thank you so much indeed, because 5 minutes left to end up the session. So thank you indeed, and I would love to hear from you a lot. Hopefully next session. So I'll give the mic now to Hassan just to add anything. Hassan,
yes,
are you on?
I'm sorry because they cut off the internet. Now
yeah,
I
no
connect
problem.
with you. Language varieties.
At least we succeeded, right?
May
Hello.
yeah.
Okay, go on.
Hello, I'm with you.
Okay, I hear you. Go on.
Yeah. Variety deals with a particular set of linguistic items or human speech patterns. For example, assembly sounds, words, grammatical features, which we can connect with some external factors, apparently geographic area or social group. Umbrella term that's used by some linguists to cover the general topics that deals with sociolinguistics, like dialect and style, register, and beliefs.
Okay, thank you, Hassan. In fact, sociolinguistics covers a wide range of complicated themes and topics, and it raises many questions like, is there a prestige in relation to one or more languages, dialects or accents? Do males and females use language differently? What features and strategies do people use to convey social relationships, politeness, power, and personal identity? These are questions commonly asked in sociolinguistics, which studies the relationship between language and society, and many more. Actually, there are many more questions. So this course will get you acquainted with basic assumptions, concepts, and concerns that underlie the work of sociolinguistics. So we will cover in this course a wide range of themes that constructs like social variation, stylistic variation, gender and language, language variety, language contact, and multilingualism, politeness theory, language policy, and in fact many more. So this session we covered just a very introductory session on introductory lecture on how to construe, how to understand sociolinguistics, and how sociolinguistics differed from the sociology of language. And there are many interrelated, complicated relations that do exist among many concepts and terms in sociolinguistics. So that's enough for today. I would like just to thank you very much indeed for joining, for taking every single effort to make this possible. Really, I really appreciate that. You know, it's
thanks to you for this refreshing lecture.
Okay,
Good job.
Enjoy.
At least we succeeded. Just I imagine myself in the classroom at the College of Arts. All right. So next session we will discuss language variety, language variation, stylistic variation, and perhaps we'll cover also gender and language. That's going to be hopefully next session. Thank you indeed.
Inshallah.
Safe and sound days to you and your families.